What is up, guys? Bones from Slasher Radio here, and as promised, we have the latest, most recent update on Jason Voorhees coming into Dead by Daylight from Dead by Daylight game director, behavior head of partnerships, the great Mathieu Cote. I recently did a video on Friday the 13th, the game, where I broke down the current situation with all the legalities around Jason and Friday the 13th. So I'm not going to go over all of that again, but if you want to hear all of that, you can check out that video. I'll link it here. You can also find it listed on our channel. Speaking of that, if you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. We appreciate everyone who watches our videos, but the viewership compared to people who are subscribed is way off, and we'd like to bring that margin down a little closer. But anyway, let's get down to what you guys are here for and see what Matt had to say about Jason coming into the fog, and we'll follow up with that afterwards on some thoughts. But another thing that people want, the most asked question by far, is there any more positivity that you can lend for Jason coming to Dead by Daylight? There's a lot of rumors on, off. Do you have any more hope? Any more or less?
How do I answer that?
You don't, but I have to ask it anyway.
No, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
There is hope. Absolutely, there is hope. Jason exists. Some people are actually currently managing his estate. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
And we would still very much like to have Jason in the game. Like, that is never going to go away.
Nice. And that is great to hear.
Same goes for Pennywise.
Fair enough.
Of course.
Okay. Obviously, there isn't much that Matt can say one way or another. There's been rumors about Jason coming in for the 10th anniversary. I do have some other thoughts on the 10th anniversary, by the way. We'll go over that in an upcoming video. But let's just say that Jason is confirmed to coming into Dead by Daylight, right? For argument's sake, whether it be the 10th anniversary, the next chapter, whenever it might be, right? Even if that was the case and Jason is coming in and it's written in stone, everything's signed, there's nothing Matt would be able to say because of obvious legal reasons. And if they are still trying to wrangle that license and finally bring arguably the king of horror into the hall of fame of horror that Dead by Daylight has become, then it's really just them going back and forth, negotiations being made, and it's that type of thing. It is all contracts when you're at this stage and throughout most of bringing licensed DLC into any game. It starts with contracts and two sides agreeing on something, which is a very long process. And that very well could be where they're at with it right now. Another piece of this puzzle is, would the license holders for Jason, that being Sean Cunningham, Horror Inc., Victor Miller, whoever else is involved, there's a lot of uncertainties surrounding the license at this point, but would they allow the license for Jason to come into Dead by Daylight if there is another Jason / Friday the 13th game? I'll just come out and say this. I am 99% sure that Friday the 13th, the game that Gunn created, is not coming back. I'm not going to get into how I'm 99% sure, but I'm 99% sure. But we do know that there is a new Friday the 13th game being worked on, not by Gunn. Harry Manfredini, the composer for the original Friday the 13th films, had confirmed this at a con a couple of years ago. I don't remember exactly when. We don't know by who. We don't know if it's single player, multiplayer. We don't know by what studio. We don't know really anything about it other than Harry Manfredini said he was working on it. But this doesn't really mean anything because if you guys remember, when Gunn was working on the Texas Chainsaw game and we were ramping up for it to come out and the release was on the horizon, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface license holders renewed the license for Leatherface in Dead by Daylight. There was rumors about Leatherface leaving, and that ultimately did not happen. The license got renewed. So even though there is a Friday the 13th game being worked on, that doesn't mean that we can't have Jason in Dead by Daylight as well. This legal thing has been going on so long that I feel like all parties involved with this license are ready to make their money and make up for time lost throughout all this mess. So ultimately, Jason Voorhees finally coming into the fog. This is a very unpopular answer, but we're just going to have to wait and see. I personally do think it's just a matter of time. I don't think that the license holders would pass up the opportunity of DLC sales and everything that Dead by Daylight behavior brings to the table with things like this. Also, why does Matthew keep bringing up Pennywise? This is not the first time he's brought up Pennywise to us without Pennywise being mentioned at all whatsoever. We are going to talk about this in an upcoming video. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video. It helps us out a lot. And also let us know in the comments what you guys think. Is Jason coming to Dead by Daylight? What do you think we'll get from a Jason Friday the 13th chapter if he does come to Dead by Daylight? What does the new look mean for cosmetics? Could we get only the new look of Jason that was released by Jason Universe not too long ago? Will this cancel out all cosmetics that we could have received from the movies? We'll catch you guys on the next video. Good night from Slasher Radio.